Hello, everyone. It's Granny again. We are continuing our series on Where is Sebastian Rogers, 15-year-old autistic male who'll be 16 in December of this year. Dirty blonde hair, brown eyes, 5'5", weighs 110 pounds, wears like square rimmed glasses. He doesn't like to be barefoot, has trouble making friends, has trouble with social interactions. But his mom has said if you see him and you say his name, he will turn around to look. His favorite song is Eye of the Tiger. His favorite color is green. Okay, so if you know something, if you see something, please say something. Call 833-TELL-DOG or 1-800-TBI-FIND. There is a $125,000 reward leading up to knowledge of his whereabouts. So today we are going to look at an interview that Seth did with Pascal. He actually called into the Pascal show and see if we can glean anything different. I have watched quite a bit of Pascal's things. I can't say I always agree with them, but I think, for the most part, he does a good job. He's very likable. I will say that about him. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna share my screen and get into that. All right. See everything good? Here we go.
Okay, guys, let's find out. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Calling from Clarksville, Tennessee. My name is Seth Rogers.
Seth. First off, thank you so much for calling in. Let me just say that first off. Thank you so much for calling in. How are you doing?
About as best as I can. My son's missing. And I wanted to tell you thank you because you're getting this out to more people. We've been passing flyers out. We've got all the way to Chattanooga. We've got billboards all the way up to Memphis.
Yeah.
We've reached out the balls to see if we can get flyers out there to try to find him. And I want to tell you thank you. Everybody who's helped me try to find my son, I appreciate it.
Of course. I mean, well, of course, we are only here to bring your son back home. Of course, home to safety. You have a second. Of course, you called in, and again, I know that you're really busy. What have you been up to all day today so far? Can you give us like a little bit of a breakdown of what the day's been so far for you guys out there?
I've been out because it's me and some of his extended family that have been doing flyers and stuff. So I've been passing out flyers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going to businesses, passing out flyers. Everybody knows, but in my town, in Clarksville, everybody knows and everybody's seeing it. But tomorrow I have a trip planned. I've got 7 different locations I'm going to see if I can find anything that and put more flyers up.
Right on.
I'm going to the south side of Nashville tomorrow to put flyers up everywhere.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Have there been any leads, any leeway, any semblance of any type of hope in finding Sebastian in your search?
I always have hope. I always have hope. I always have hope. I got to have hope because I can't believe that he's dead.
Yeah. If you mind me,
so I get up every morning and I hit the road. I drive around, put flyers out, and I hope that I get to see him. I hope I get to make a left-hand turn and he's there, or I jump on the interstate and he's walking himself to me.
Yeah.
No. I just keep praying.
Of course, and we're all praying with you. Trust me, brother, we are all praying with you. Um, if you mind me asking, where were you when you got the phone call that he was missing?
Well, I just got off of work at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I turned around, I got to my vehicle, got in there, and there was a text message from the stepfather. Call me, it's 911. And I called him, and he told me that Pascal was missing.
Yeah.
And I left from there and drove straight to his mom's house. And I was there all day waiting for something, some type of information. I saw him bring the dogs in. I was sitting there watching police come in and out, ask questions.
Yeah.
And they asked those questions, of course. And they're, the first thing they did is, where were you? And I'm like, I've been at work for the last 12 hours.
Yeah.
They turned around and they took our phones, make sure that everything that we stated was verifiable.
Right. And he's not known, Sebastian's not known, as you said as well, he's not known to just go and wander off or to just run off the way that he did, correct?
Correct. He's never been one to do that sort of stuff.
So if you mind me asking this, and it's going to be I got a few tough questions to ask you. I know if you don't want to answer them, then that's totally fine. But when you went into the house, was there anything different or anything off maybe in the house when you were there?
No, I walked in the house. It seemed normal. Everything was clean. Everything was pristine like it normally is.
Like it normally is.
Except for his room.
I gotcha. Except for his room. Okay. Okay. Have they been out? Has the stepfathers, has the stepdad and the mom, have they been out searching at all, or have they just stayed home?
From my understanding, my talks with Chris and by their Katie, they've been out putting flyers and posters in the ground.
Okay. Okay. I do have another question, because you did make a statement. It was in an article. It wasn't, I don't know if it was in this video that we just watched, this interview, which, by the way, there's a longer version of this interview, right?
I haven't seen the interview. I mean,
okay.
I was interviewed, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Okay. But there is something that you said in the interview that was actually put into an article. Said something about there was no scent. Okay. Like the dogs weren't picking up a scent, but one dog followed a scent out into a construction site and then it disappeared. Could you maybe expand on that or explain a little bit more about that?
One of the dog handlers told me first day,
wow,
Monday, that the dog popped to a trail and they followed it and went all the way around and it ended in a construction site, but it ended. It's like there was nothing there.
Right. And that's a little odd.
Which
right?
Leads me to believe that, well, if it ends, normally the scent ends when you stop traveling on foot. From my understanding, that would mean that he got into a car.
If he got into a car, just so I understand the construction site itself, did the scent stop in the middle of the construction site, or did it stop on the side of the road? Ah, okay.
They didn't tell me.
Okay, because I'm curious
because
how
I'm the most.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not. No problem. I'm not part of that sheriff's department, so
yeah.
They're not going to share information with me.
Of course.
On top of that, I'm emotionally attached.
Right.
So they don't want me involved in the investigation.
I gotcha.
So everything I do is pretty much on my own. If I go search somewhere, I'm under pretty much orders to turn around and call TBI and tell them where I'm going so that they know.
Yeah.
Because they know I'm searching by myself. And if I come up missing, they want to know where I was last at.
No kidding.
Because they don't want me coming up missing and my son being missing.
Right. So as far as a few things, though, I know you live somewhere else, but you were still very tight. You're still very tight with Sebastian. So I'm curious, did he tell you of any issues at school? Did he have any, was he dealing with any type of bullies, enemies, anything like that at school?
Not that I am aware of. I am tight with my son. I moved from California to Tennessee so I could be close enough to go pick up my son.
No, good on you.
Far enough that when I pick him up, I don't want to be in her backyard.
Right.
Because she's not my wife.
Understandable.
Yeah.
That's respectful. And I totally understand what you're saying. And that's good on you, my brother, for wanting to be in closer proximity to your son. I think that's very endearing. Real talk. Was there any online forums or anything of that sort? Did he game a lot? Could he have been online somewhere
games.
talking to people? Yeah.
He played games at my house. My PlayStation is pretty much locked down for my own sake, because I don't. If I don't know you,
right,
I don't want you popping in to talk to me. So it's like everybody on my PlayStation that are on my friends list.
Yeah,
I know personally.
Yeah.
So there's no way that he would have been talking to somebody without me knowing, because they're my friends. They're not his friends.
Yeah.
Okay, I like what Seth just said there. And this is the first time that they spoke about the gaming aspect in an interview. And there are those people who like to say that Seth lied. Well, this is proof that Seth did not lie. Seth said he only allows Sebastian to play with his friend list, people he knows personally. He did not say that, he has no online access. He said he only allows him to play with his friend set. All right, let's continue on.
No,
I mean, they would call me up and be like, your son's on your account, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm sitting next to him. He's in his recliner. I'm in my recliner.
Right. You guys are spending time together.
He's playing there, and I'm on my phone playing Call of Duty, and he's on the PlayStation playing Modern Warfare.
Right on.
I mean, I know what he's doing because I'm right next to him.
Yeah.
So it's like any conversations or anything that he didn't have the headphones.
Right.
So, and it's a PS4, it's not a PS5, so it doesn't pick up your stuff through the remote or anything.
Yeah.
So it's like the only way he would have had contact with any of them is if he had headphones on, and I made him not wear headphones because you're not going to talk to random people.
Right.
You don't know who, and I explained to him, you don't know who these people are. They could tell you one thing, and they could be some guy that's like in his 50s or something looking for some kid.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, those internet streets are dangerous, man. Those internet streets are dangerous. So let's talk about outside of the internet. Did he ever express any issues about his home environment at all?
Not at his mom. He never expressed anything about his mom and dad's stepfather's place.
Okay.
He liked the dogs. He was supposed to come live with me at the end of school. Summer break, he was supposed to move in with me full time.
Oh, wow. He was supposed to. Oh, wow.
This is what both me and him have wanted for years.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand that. And now you're out looking for him.
Now I gotta find him so he can come live with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Of course, I'm not trying to point any blame or anything of that sort. But the situation in which he just vanished into thin air is very suspicious in my personal opinion. What are your thoughts as far as him vanishing in the way that he did vanish?
I'm missing something. Like I've stated since day one, none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
There's something missing out of this puzzle, and I don't know what it is. And I hope that law enforcement has figured out the missing piece so that they can bring my son back to me.
Right.
Okay. And Seth, at this time, remember this was early on, okay? And at this time, Seth, maybe was not going to say what he was thinking, right? Well, we now know, going on 8 months into his disappearance, that Seth knows that there is no proof, no evidence of Sebastian leaving the home. He also has DCS records of what Sebastian went through in that home. So Seth, according to him in an interview, stated, in a more recent interview, stated that he feels that the Proudfoots did something with his son. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. Seth can't say for sure, but he feels that in his heart now. Obviously he's not saying that this early, and kudos to him for that. I mean, he didn't jump to that right away. No matter what he might have been thinking at the time, he didn't jump to that right away. And I really, give him a lot of credit for that. So let's continue on.
I totally understand that. Has there been anything that you've heard so far? Maybe a piece of a clue, anything you said? I understand that there's pieces to this puzzle that are missing, but did they happen to give you at least something that could be some semblance of a piece to a puzzle?
No, they're not including me in on. They tell me what they do, but they're not including me in on what they find.
I understand. I do understand. Especially with your with your experience, of course, being a police officer as well. I can only imagine. Deputy sheriff. With all due respect, my apologies.
Sorry. Well, I take my oath to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Tennessee very, very dearly to my heart. As a deputy sheriff, that's what we're supposed to do. Make sure people don't infringe upon people's constitutional rights.
Yeah. I got a few more questions. What was the last time you had a conversation with Sebastian? How
Thursday.
It was Thursday. Okay. So you
Thursday before he left.
Before he disappeared, or you mean before he left?
Yeah.
Okay. So
before he left.
Okay.
I mean, because he's gone.
Right.
I mean, he's gone.
Right.
He's left.
So, but how often?
Either left the house of his own free will, or he didn't. And if he went outside, I don't know what happened to him.
Absolutely. So then, let me ask you this then: did you guys correspond or at least make phone calls often? Like, was it a daily thing, or would it be sporadic every once in a while? You get a chance to talk to Sebastian. I'm just curious about the rhythm here, because it seems like Thursday and then it just flatline, no communication whatsoever. So how often were you actually corresponding with your son?
I called him Thursday. I don't call him on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday because he's with his mom.
Right.
That way, when I have him Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's just a mutual thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, normally I would call him every day or every other day at about 3:30 because he would be home from school by then and either be working on his homework, or if he didn't have any homework, he was doing chores that his mom had him doing.
Gotcha.
And I would call him to ask him how school was. Normally we would talk for maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and it was routine. Call him up. How was school? You know, did your mama leave you any chores?
Yeah.
You know.
So, but this was a Monday through. But this was more of a Monday through Monday through Friday type of thing. But then the weekends, you would leave him be to spend time with mom. Correct?
I would pick him up on Fridays on my weekend. I would pick him up. I'd be waiting at their house when he got off the bus.
I see. But this weekend was not your weekend. Or this particular weekend was not your weekend. Right?
No, that was his mama's weekend.
Gotcha. You know, wow. Okay, I do have to ask you this, and maybe you know, maybe you don't know. But when did Chris go to Memphis? Do you have any knowledge of that, when he actually left for that job on Monday?
Well, I don't think he left Monday. I think he'd already been there all weekend.
So he was out there all weekend. From what all week? Oh wow. Okay, that's interesting. So he was gone all week.
I believe so.
You believe so? Okay.
Normally, I believe so, because normally if I have him, Sebastian's mom would go to Memphis. If I had Sebastian over the weekend, she would normally go to Memphis.
I see. Okay. Interesting. So so he could have been there for a while. Yeah. And then of course, Sebastian's mom is with him. She wakes up Monday morning, and he's gone. So there's that Friday, Saturday.
So that is still something that to this day is not clear. There's not a clear-cut answer as to how long Chris was gone. We know he told us that he had been gone since the beginning of February. But then, I mean, we've heard other things. So all that timeline of Chris being gone, there's still no clear answer. Now, that doesn't mean law enforcement doesn't know, right? They may know very well. And I have to believe that the CPS records tied into that a bit. So, you know, it would really be nice to be a fly on the wall in the office where all this information is kept for law enforcement, because, you know, inquiring minds want to know, right? So, yeah, I just, you know, and that's what Pascal's trying to find out here, you know, how long was he gone, you know?
Saturday and Sunday where he could have disappeared. That could have been time somewhere around that time, let's just say. I mean,
no.
You know.
Sebastian disappeared sometime Sunday night, Monday morning.
Sunday night, Monday morning. Okay. I apologize.
There's evidence, there's video proof of Sebastian with Katie Sunday evening.
Are there cameras in the house or around
No.
the actual house?
They went to dinner.
Gotcha. So they did go to dinner on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and there's actual video proof of that.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, Seth, do you have anything that you want our listeners to know about the search, about Sebastian? Anything that can help in finding him?
I just ask people, keep your head up and your eyes open. If you see him, please call 911.
Yeah.
You know, if he's hungry, give him some food. If you see him outside your house, do not let him in your house. Call 911. Get him something to eat. Get him something to drink.
Can I ask?
I'm pretty sure he's starving.
Right. Do you mind me asking one more question? I know. I was just trying to wrap it up with you, but I got one last question. Because I know that he was on medication as well. Was there any possible medication that he took that could give him some sort of mental break or some sort of psychotic break where he would just wander off without shoes on in the middle of the night?
I have no idea. I've asked TBI and Sumner County to check to see if that is, and nothing.
And he's never done anything like this before, correct?
Cool. Yes, sir.
Okay. Not out of spite or out of anger, out of protest. He's never done anything like just leave or walk off or anything like that out of just being a teenager with angst, you know?
I love my son. I love my son a lot. And I have thoroughly aggravated him at different points in times.
Of course.
Because I'm his dad.
I was going to say, you're not a dad if you're not doing that. You know what I mean?
And he has never once walked out my front door. No matter how mad I've made him.
Yeah.
You know, he has stormed off to his room. He has sat there, I don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, well, you can get over it. I'm your dad.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk to you whether you want to talk to me or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
You giving me an attitude? Go load the dishwasher.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Your attitude ain't going to stop the fact that you live in this house and there's things that need to be done.
Yeah.
You know, I've taught him that don't let people get you mad or angry.
Yeah.
You know, that's you losing control as them having control over you.
Yeah.
You know, don't be like that. Be better than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He you know, because I understand that he's autistic. I love him no matter what.
Yeah.
But I also understand that kids are cruel, especially in schools.
That they are.
We all did with that. If you weren't the popular one, you could be made fun of or whatnot. And then I wanted him to already have an understanding that those people that do that are just insecure. And they're wanting control or power over you. And you getting angry gives them that. But if you look at them and just smile and brush it off,
yeah,
because it ain't worth it. Their opinion is not worth it.
Kill them with kindness, right?
Or food, school food, either one.
I will say, Seth, I do appreciate you calling in and just because this was very impromptu, everybody. Okay. Let me just be completely honest. This was not planned. But I do appreciate you calling in. You know, I
watched your podcast. I watched your podcast earlier, and you said you'd be back on at 8:00.
Yes, sir.
And I watched your podcast a couple days ago because you're keeping my son's face out there. You're keeping his name out there. And the more that we can do that, the less likely it will become a cold case.
Absolutely.
My son cold case. I want him found.
Oh, you guys, this old granny is right there sobbing with him. Ugh. This old granny is just as determined as Sebastian's dad is not to have this become a cold case. Keep his name out there on your social media, guys. If you have YouTube, obviously, or you wouldn't be watching me. You probably have Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Put his face out there. Please, every day. Let's flood social media with Sebastian's picture. It'll do one of two things. Somebody will have remembered seeing him and give that infamous tip, or someone that has him may just run so scared that they confess. So please keep that out there. It's really important. Don't let this become a cold case. Do you hear Seth's voice cracking?
We all want him found. I'm going to be honest. We just like Chelsea just said, we have an army behind you, sir. People are putting in a lot of green heart emojis in the chat right now. People are really showing a lot of love. Discerning just said, we in Hendersonville are behind you, Seth. We are with you. That's what she said. There's a lot of people here that are praying for his safe and swift return. And yes, we will continue to say his name, and we will continue to talk about Sebastian here until we find out what's going on, right? Until we get him home. And that's the most important part. And I commend you. I give you so much love and healing vibrations. And again, God bless you for stopping everything that you're doing and just being boots on the ground and going out there trying to find your son. That is commendable, my brother. And man, if I was with you right now, we'd be sharing a beer. I'm serious. And a big old hug. But I'm telling you right now, we're with you. All of us are with you, and we're praying with you. Okay? So
I appreciate it. I really do.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, brother. Please, I'm gonna try to find a way to keep in touch with you. All right, because I do want to know what's going on. And again, we are all here. We're all on the same team. We are rooting for you. We just care about the truth. We care about transparency, and we care about justice, and we care about getting him home. So again, Seth, I appreciate you so much for calling in. It means the world to all of us. And a lot of us are showing a lot of love in the chat. All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. You have this number as well. Please don't be a stranger. Let us know what's going on. If you have time to give us updates every once in a while, we'd be more than honored to have you on here to let us know what's going down. Okay?
Thank you.
Of course. No, thank you. And I appreciate you, okay? I know you probably need some sleep. It's probably been a long day. Go rest those feet. Go get properly hydrated, all right? And hopefully we will talk very, very soon with some good news. All right?
What I'm praying for. Thank you. Thank you again.
Anytime, brother. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Well, that was a incredible interview, heart-wrenching. I don't know that we learned really anything new other than being reminded of the fact that Seth did not lie. He said from the beginning that his son was on his his channel or whatever it may. I'm not a gamer, so you guys would have to help me with that. But he was on his channel and without headphones. So, and it was only using Seth's friends list. So, and you heard him say that Sebastian was sitting right next to him, so he knew what was going on. I kind of liked some of the things how Seth talked about, Sebastian getting mad at him and, saying, son, if you've got an attitude, well, then go load the dishwasher. you know, um, those kinds of things, those are normal parent-child things, right? Those are, especially teenagers, but I can't imagine a teenager with autism. I've never been around one, an autistic child. So I don't know the ins and outs of that. But I'm sure there are people, probably watching this right now who have autistic children. And feel free to share, in the comments below, what that's like if you have a teenage autistic person in your family, what that's like and what kinds of things they go through, how do they respond when they're bullied or teased or different things like that, because those are all things that Sebastian could have went through. I do know one thing: when Sebastian comes home, he's going to have so much love that there's not going to be any bullying around him. Pretty sure of that. But yeah, just light it up green for him. Porch lights, solar panel, rope lights, whatever you can do to light it up green. It doesn't matter where you are. We don't know where Sebastian is. It's been 8 months. He could be anywhere, right? So we don't know where he is. Light it up wherever you are. Worst case scenario, even if Sebastian isn't in your area, if somebody sees your house lit up green and your neighbors say, "What is that for?" And then you have the opportunity to tell them about Sebastian. The more people that know about Sebastian's, disappearance, the more chance we have of finding him. Get that information out there. If you're able to post or even to mail flyers to businesses, please do that. Get that information out there. And we're going to continue on with our series of looking at interviews to see if we can find something new. So far, we haven't really found anything, but are reminded of quite a few things, right? So we will see you on the next one. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one.